Hi, everybody. Welcome to PJTV's Trifecta. My name is Tammy Bruce. I'm filling in for Steve Green today. Joining me, of course, is a couple of great guys, Bill Whittle and Scott Ott. Welcome aboard, fellas.
Howdy.
Howdy.
Well, you know, what's I want to ask you guys about something that has disturbed a lot of people when they heard it. You know, last time the president of Israel was in the United States, Obama gave him the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Now, Barack Obama, for the first time in his presidency, is going to Israel next month. And everyone was quite surprised to hear that he was going to be receiving an honor there, the Presidential Medal of Distinction from President Perez. We know, of course, and this is one of the issues, Israel is America's greatest friend. This nation has not just a political obligation to that country, but we do in part because we have a moral obligation to Israel. And the entire, of course, Western civilization owes Israel a great deal as well. Barack Obama, from what we've seen, has done his best to, in my opinion, certainly hurt that nation. And strangely enough, even just when it comes to the politics internationally, it seems that it's okay to build a bomb if you're an Islamist, but not to build a house if you're an Israeli. Bill, what exactly is that kind of policy about? And why do you think that Obama views the Israelis so differently from the Islamists when it comes to freedom and the ability to run a country as they see fit?
Well, it's pretty obvious from his record. He has a deep and abiding disgust for freedom. And I got a strong feeling I know which side of that equation he's on, and I think everybody else does too. What I really find interesting, Tammy, is it's his first trip to Israel, and he's going to get a medal. You could get Barack Obama to go anywhere as long as you get him a medal. He'd open a 7-Eleven in Bosnia as long as there was some sort of presidential medal or some sort of high honor involved where he could stand there and bow his head and have somebody place the ribbon around his neck, and then he could say, I don't really deserve this medal. I accept it on behalf of the American people. And honestly, I mean, the man's just he's a medal slut. But to the deeper issue, there is no question about the double standard that Israel is held to here. And we could spend an hour on this, but the short form is that as far as the modern progressive mind is concerned, the underdog is always correct. Always. It doesn't matter whether the underdog is a mass murdering rapist. As long as somebody is more powerful than that person, then the underdog is always correct. That's why they always side with the Palestinians on this issue. And that's why the perception is that the Arabs, even though they outnumber the Jews by God knows what the ratio is, but there's 1 billion Arabs over there, and there's a handful of Jews. The Jews are perceived technologically superior because they are, morally superior because they are, and more civilized because they are, therefore, they're automatically wrong.
You know, one of the problems, of course, is that giving Obama a medal like this after spending years making things more difficult for Israel is that it sends a message to the world that you can treat Israel and Jews in this fashion, and it's okay. Now, Americans think that embracing Barack Obama is an American problem, but in fact, Scott, isn't this an issue when it comes to not just the American left, but the worldwide left, that they always seem to be doing things that actually directly harm their own nation's security, that make things more difficult for democracy and decent people to survive? Isn't this a bit of an indication, at least, that Barack Obama and this kind of liberalism isn't just an American problem, but all over the world, and especially a fight that Israel has to engage in as well?
Yes, it is. I mean, I kind of look at this as the way the left in Israel has traded away land. They've traded away prisoners, releasing 1,000 terrorists in exchange for 1 Israeli, in the constant hope that human behavior and human nature will change, and somehow the long history of hatred will evaporate if you suddenly do a good deed for folks like this. But unfortunately, they don't understand anything but strength. Any award, by the way, that Barack Obama is getting is just like his Nobel Peace Prize. It's aspirational. It's in hopes that he'll maybe do something nice for us in the future. And really, he's being recognized for who America is, not for who Barack Obama is.
Well, I hope so. The Israelis know that they have no better friends than the Americans. We also know that Netanyahu had a difficult election and that the left thinks that they can take advantage of the situation. But if anybody in the world knows that these are existential issues, it's the Jews. And when it comes down to what happens in this world, we know that what happens to the Jewish community affects everyone else around the world. We appreciate Western civilization, so we appreciate Israel. And we also know that Israel is not going to let itself die in order to impress Barack Obama. And the American people need to really make sure that the Israelis and that Jews around the world know that we support them and that this kind of political theater is not going to do them in. I'm Tammy Bruce for Trifecta.